Rocky Point, I'm going to agree with you to some degree, but I'm also going to say the fact that we were able to rescue those men is because we have increased capacity. It's because we have increased helicopters. It's because we have increased boats. Literally 10 years ago, we would not have been able to because we have bought, I think it's 4 or 5 new JDF Coast Guard boats, right? And I think 2 or 3 or 4 helicopters. Now, these are heavy purchases. So I'm saying, yes, we want to see more and we agree. But the fact that we found them and brought them back 10 years ago, they weren't so lucky. That's the truth, right? So we must say there is more to come, but we must also appreciate that we've made a lot of progress. Now, remember, we do have radar systems, right? But people have to also be willing to utilize the trackers. There is an implement that you put on your boat to ensure that we can see where you are. No. Sometimes it is used, and then sometimes when the boat goes down, it goes down. Right? So if that is the situation, you understand. But it's not that the radar system isn't there. Anywhere in the world, you still have those challenges, unfortunately. Right? But I think more people are also recognizing that having the GPS monitoring on your boats is to protect you more than anything else. The last thing in relation to the flares, remember you can get flares, right? And not just flare guns, remember you can get actual flares, right? And I'm saying it is important that people invest in these things as well. Remember when you're going to sea, sometimes we think about safety last and we think about something bad happening last. We're saying, think about it first. And I heard Mr. Haddo gave a brilliant presentation. When I was on my way over here, I was listening, right? So if you have difficulty, let us know, we will help, right? In relation to acquiring things like flare and flare guns. And I for one believe, just like the flares, the flare gun is a necessary part because it helps. It gives you a further reach, right? So anything that we can do to help and make that easier, we will work on it. All right?
Yeah, good day to everybody on the panel. We honor you. I am from Port Royal. I'm Michael Henry, the president of the Port Royal Fishing Association. There is a question that will be directed to um, Floyd, Mr. Floyd Green. Um, I will just read it from my phone. It's a, what is going to happen to Pakal finish their expansion of the airstrip? They had agreed to receive from us a proposal based on the fact that there was nothing from their budget was for the fishers, in which they understood that fishers would be significantly impacted. So it had been 6 months. No, we are waiting for a request from the PACAL. There is a grievance committee that was set up, consists of 6 beaches from the southern part, right? The 6 presidents represents the beaches and the committee. Now the project is now in the final phase in October. So they will be finishing that in October, where us as fishers will have no more, um, you know, talk. So we don't know where we stand because of the lack of transparency. We need to know what the Jamaica government will do for the fishers in that region in that regard.
All right, thank you. Good question. So clearly, I am familiar with the Port Royal matter. We would have met with officials. Remember, the grievance committee and getting that up and running would have come out of one of our meetings, and I'm very happy. I checked with Pakal and they told me that it is there, it is functioning, it is meeting. The proposal is not to wait on the request. Do the proposal. Well, send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me. If the proposal has been sent to Pakal and they have not responded, then let me know because I have not seen the proposal. Right, but I have not seen the proposal. So if it was sent to my office, I haven't seen it. Right, but we can deal with it now. It's not an issue. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Janet Burke from Kingston Complex, the president currently. Here I have with me, Mr. Minister, the proposal that you had asked the representative from all seven beach in Kingston and St. Andrew to prepare and hand to PACAL. Now, the issue that we currently have with PACAL is that they took this proposal and have a give a response upon this date. Now, Mr. Minister, we were told by the one judge at Crawford Williams that you have to respond in writing, telling them to undertake a compensation for the fishers under distress due to dredging. Mr. Minister, I stand here before you with 174 claims from Kingston Complex that has been rejected, saying that insufficient evidence was there, not proving that we failed complex. All we have forum. All seven leaders are here today, standing in solidarity with the understanding that we have been suffering from the beginning of dredging up until this point. We face great tragic event after the storm, Melissa. When the hurricane came, we experienced more distress. Pakal up until this day have not responded or reach to give any sort of compensation while the airport is still being worked on, the development going on. And I must say, it's not against any development in our country. We applaud that. We want that. We not would be able to earn our family to do the norm things that we normally do, meet us halfway. That is not done, Mr. Minister. And today, I think, Mr. Minister, you must firmly declare that people must compensate fishers after this date.
All right. All right. So, all right. So, very,
I have here for you the proposal,
yes.
sir.
So, very, very strong presentation, very deep and dear issue, but we have to work it through together. So, one step at a time. The first thing about the proposal. So, as you have said, the proposal hasn't come to me as yet. You sent it to Pakal. You sent it to Pakal. Pakal has not responded. No, we can treat with that. So I'll collect the proposal from you today, right? And I will reach out to Pakal to see why they have not responded. One. Two, as we met and we established, the minister cannot mandate and dictate and tell Pakal they have to pay. It don't work like that. So they don't work like that. And I'm not going to tell you that I can't do what I can't do. What we agreed, what we agreed is that there's going to be a procedure put in place between the company, the fishers, NEPA, I don't think fishers is on it, right? Hold on. Put in place that when you have a grievance, there is a grievance committee that will decide on the grievances. And everybody said, we agree. Now, if you have gone through that process and you believe that the process is being unfairly managed, bring it to my attention. So now that you have brought it to my attention, right? Now that you have brought it to my attention, I will write to Pakal about it, right? Because remember, The last time we came, we sat, we brought Pakal in the room, we go through, they agreed that they're going to put the people. So remember, we went through all of that. So what you're doing now is updating me to say, Minister, despite your best efforts, you're not getting through. That is what you are saying. That despite the fact that you bring everybody around the table, even when they never talk to Fisher, they have to come and talk and we put something in place, it is not working. Now that you have told me that, I will follow up on it. Right? Because clearly, and I hope everybody understands what would have happened. We would have met with the company and the fishers, and they would have agreed on a process to claim. Any claim they have, it have to go to a committee that fishers sit on. What the fishers are now saying is that they have submitted the claims, but none of the claims are being honored. Now, we don't participate in that process. Now it has been brought, I will look at it. Right? And send me the proposal because I was very strong in the meeting that I believe that Pakal has to do something in relation to helping develop the fisheries. Outside of whether you suffer loss, two separate things. Even if you don't suffer no loss, I believe that Pakal as a company who is operating in the harbor needs to work with the fishers to help them develop. I remember we gave some suggestions. We spoke about long line fishing. We spoke about helping with equipment. So if you're saying you have submitted that and they have not responded, turn it over to me now. Let me work on it. All right? And Dr. Bellamy. All right.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Fly Green said a while ago was talking about tilapia and shrimp farming. Now we hear about global warming, global warming. We hear about a thing they call El Nino, one weather pattern where we're going to have drought and all of these things. Now, the shrimp farm gonna need water. So when we see them do other country is go to the near to the the rivers and take the water from the river out of the sea to the ponds and so on. So if we can do all of that, that's not bad. But I have one main problem now. From this last hurricane in Rocky Point, our harbor is getting violent, violent. In about 2 weeks ago, a lot of just some wash off of the land because the sea now, when the tide high and the sea roll, like alligator pond, it take away the sun. Carry away the sun, all of the boat get into the sea, mash up on the seaside and all of that. So, what I'm suggesting, if we could get some help, if we get some those big rocks and put it at the drain and make a pile go out in the sea, then it could break all of this fall of this big wave. Then we can start getting sun go back and get back a harbor. So I'm just asking if we could get some help.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
going to have to investigate it. Very good points made. So I'm going to commit the NFA team to work also with NEPA and some of our environmental engineers. Your member of parliament sent me the video with the fishers down there in Rocky Point with the a freak storm, I would call it. Boy, it looked bad. It looked bad. I'm going to try and find some time to come visit. Right? So, very good suggestion. We look at it. And what you said about the global warming is a real issue. In fact, we just brought in a consultant to look at the impact of the higher temperatures on tilapia because sometimes we don't see how things are connected. It is causing a downturn in production. So you gave a really good suggestion that we need to look at establishing more of these close to water. So well done.
Good afternoon. David, represent the community El Shaku. Mr. Green, earlier on I hear, could you repeat your name for me, please, Miss?
Sir, Dr. Oliver.
All right, Miss Zara. Earlier on I heard you said, if you forget your license, you're gonna get a ticket for $10,000. If the data is up to date to show that you are a licensed fisherman and you forget because anybody in this room was never forget. Let me soon put it on a year for you never forget. Yes. And imagine you left your license and somebody charge you $10,000 for forgetting your license. And the data can show that you are up to date as a fisherman. And you're gonna get charged. So by the time you go to sea, not even your gas money, your dinner money, nothing you know come back with. And to get charged for forgetting. Remember say, deliberately, forget. Mr. Green, why you address that? Why not a warning to say, don't forget again and you charge a person $10,000?
All right. All right. So listen now. Listen now. Listen now. Let me go work it out together. All right. There is no offense for forgetting your license. There is an offense for not having your license. Everybody who don't have their license, the first thing they say is that they forget their license. No, work with me, work with me. Listen to what I'm saying. You have to listen first. You have to you have to listen first. Right? All right. So just like your driver's license, just like most things that have a license, there is normally a requirement by law for you to be able to present that license as proof that you have it. What the fisher is saying, take the forget part out of it. The part that I like, what the fisher is saying, if you have a way in which we can check the system to know that you have an up-to-date license, can the law be modified to take that into account? That is what the fisher is saying. Also, what I believe we have to move towards is if you have the license on your phone, if you have a picture of an up to date license, then that should be sufficient. But hold on now. When something is in law, it will have to change. So, as the law stands now, just like your driver's license, you have to present your license. And if you are asked and you do not present your license, there is an offense under the law. What I will commit to look at, if we can make a modification to say that the electronic version of an up-to-date license is sufficient proof, right, of your license. So that is what we will look to do. But you have to understand, and I don't want you to believe it's different now when you're driving on the road. In fact, it's more serious when you're there at sea. Because part of what we try to ensure is that whoever is going to sea to fish, they are licensed fishers. Because one of the problems is when other people them not throwing much, they taking up everything out of the sea and no, so we have to have a balance. You understand? And then thief people part, because nobody is there to track them. We have to have a balance. So I will look at it. I would say we have this every year. So let me talk to the technical team and see if during the course of this year, but I want to be very clear. The law is the law now. I can't stand up here and change the law. So officials understand that. The law is the law now. All right? Yeah, the question is, no, hold on. Remember now. Remember, the driver's license charges gone way more than we. Just remember that. Right? They got way more than we. What I hear somebody else saying is is it possible when you look at the law, right, to provide a time frame? I will think about it. I can't tell you that I like it. Because to be honest, when you out there, I don't like it. When you out there fish, you are do something. I don't say you not do nothing. Because you not take up and go out and see just so. Yeah, I don't like you drive by the road. You do something. So a man who go out and say give him 2 days, it might be too late. But I will look at it. I will look at it. I will look at it. Let me tell you what I want. And that is what Fisheries is working on. Whoever is checking you should be able to have a database that them can type it. Rabbit, no. No. So that is what that the solution is really what let me tell you, I would agree to the day if you register. In other words, if me look at the system and I see that you genuinely have a license and you just forget it. You understand? Then we can work with that. And I will say, again, the law is the law, but I will say to Dr. Bellamy, let us engage the Coast Guard and say, we now have a system that you have access to, so you can tell if somebody is lying or not. So let us work on that. We can work on that one. That one can work.
Yeah, yeah. Good afternoon, fisher folks. Fisher folks from all parishes. Good afternoon. Um, Back to the licensing again.
All right, guys, have a quiet down a little bit so I can
Back,
hear.
back to the licensing again. We have heard that the law for this fishing license um, is coming from 2018, right? And we're in 2025 now, 7 years that. Um, 2020, 18. All right, sorry. Um, there is this part where it say fishing without a license, 2 million. I don't see if you know say a fisherman who genuinely license and him got him license and it the part, he should be charged 2 million. Mr. Minister,
No, man, that's
I've overheard you say something too. Say run the thing electronic, which is part of the thing that I come to talk. It might take some time, but what we do wrong, why we issue the license, then we make the law, then we have to go back now, go deal with the equipment, the electronic equipment now. If it only the same thing there, now, we have to take it into consideration. Say, watch out. We're going to start run the sea like how we run taxi man. You understand? So here what? Make we put in the requisite thing to deal with it with the fishers then. Notwithstanding that if you're not licensed and them catch you, you're the pay your own $2 million bounty. But Mr. Minister, again I say, Mr. Bellamy, put in the thing, and no matter wait too long to put it in, so it don't affect genuine fishers. Put in the system where you can run my license out of sea, before you run one boat, and the officer say, you charge me $10,000, I don't have my license. Mark my word. If you're unlicensed, you're on your own. Me I talk about licensed fishers who forgot him license because I go and see him many times. I back to back my license, man. Just to twenty what amount, what I'm a right up and the requisite to put it in the system. If the fisherman are licensed fisher folks, groups or whoever, individuals, and the police caught you out at sea without a license, for a day or two, put in the system when do so, when run it and say yes. Well, Mr. Mitchell from Ons Bay, I'm good party. Here we are. You see next week when I come, make sure the thing up on the board.
All right, two things. The first thing, Mr. Mitchell, no, I want you to hear this because it's very important. There's no, if you forget your license, you are a licensed official and you forget your license. You cannot be charged for fishing without your license. That's different offense. The $2 million is not for that. The $2 million is for a man who do not have a license. Now remember, if your license expire, you do not have a license.
Yeah.
If you never apply, you do
Do
not
not have
have
a
a license. That is the $2 million. It's a different offense. If you leave it, it's not that you're fishing without a license. That is not being able to show your license. So it's a different offense. You understand? Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Flight Green. My question to you is, there's any possibility you can fix up Maranki light?
Moranti Lighthouse. We had written, yeah. So we had written, coming, I think it might be coming from one of these. We had written to the Port Authority, who is in charge of the lighthouse, and they have a plan to fix it. What I'll ask Dr. Bellamy to do is to find out where it is at, how quickly it can be done, and to communicate it with your fishing group. All right?
Good afternoon, everyone. Just fisherman with my and my committee at the Greenwich Town Fishing Program to deal with sustainable development and conservation of the fisheries. Okay, and to disseminate information to the public and other fisheries. Now, after we pioneer this program, you all take away this program from we, and we never say you couldn't have it, but you could have shared it with me too, because it's a 3-day program. It's a 3-day program we created where TPD support with, Fishers support with, the Jamaica Fishermen Co-op Union support with, the Coast Guard support with, the Marine Police and many other stakeholders support with. But you take away the program from where and we have input to put into the fishing industry, not only you alone as the government have input to put there. We also have an input, and we want to offer up as a platform for our voice to be heard. And we want you to recognize that you don't you're not to use it, but you plan help us plan with us to where we also use it as a recreational program where we can raise fund, fix up a beach or do something at the beach. You understand? So it took away all completely. The other thing again, too, you talk about the sustainable development. I don't hear you talk about any artificial reef. I don't hear you talk outside. It's a long wall and and we need to do it back like how we do the Palisades Road because it will be able to keep up that every sea when any kind of weather offer the foreshore down in a Elsha and also the Kingston Harbor. So we need so we have to plan with we too. Plan with we too. You understand me? Because we are the person who are out there every day and have the experience and see what needed. You understand? The other thing again, too, why when you're why when you're creating a bill
pass a law, why you don't come to the fishermen first and we sit down and we reason before they implement the law?
All right. So I will deal with all the three matters. Um, Dr. Bellamy can probably deal with the first one. The, the intention of Fisherman's Day, as it is presently formatted, is to include the fishers. In fact, the area I look forward to the most is this, where fishers get a chance to share, to give their suggestions, as you realize, have a team taking notes. And after Fisherman's Day, I always use it as an opportunity to look at what the fishers have said and to see how we can. No, it does not stop fishing beaches, fishing groups to coordinate own activities. And it does not start from, as you have said, the origins of it. It has grown. Fishes are coming from all over the country that are brought in, and we try and do something like this. But it doesn't stop other things from happening. And I would say, just like how in Paji, they have them regatta, just like how in other areas, I would say to Greenwich, if you have a program that you want to implement, right? No, but you are a part of it. The fact, oh no, so no, that is a no. So those what, all right. So what I hear you say, for next year Fisherman Day, you want it to be not a one day affair, right? And you want a space that fishers can make presentations. That is, well, let me not agree to the more than one day, but the fishers making presentation, that is easy. That is easy. We can do that. Now, in relation to your suggestions in relation to Kingston Harbour, good suggestions. There is an overall program around Kingston Harbour. So I will raise that. When it comes to bills and laws, I wasn't here when the last law was implemented, but I know for a fact from the days of Mr. Kang, they go around and talk about what is to come. There is no question about that. Meeting keep, no, but don't shake your head. Because you a man who in it, me sure you're in a meeting. Me sure, me bound. Me sure if me go think back up the minutes to find your name. So people think they are never going to come to preacher. Going to sea without license was illegal from fishing start. From the start license fisher. That I don't new. That no new none at all. No. Sometimes people never use to pay it no mind. And sometimes Coast Guard never have the tools for the out there run up and down. Those days are changing. So some of the things we have to be reasonable as well. In any profession, there are some responsibilities that you will have to take on. And that is the same with fishing.
Good afternoon, everyone. This question is directed to the NFA, you, Minister Green, and the JFCU. Fishers have legal birthright access to the Miami Bay and the Blue Lagoon, all other beaches under the Beach Control Act. So, what concrete steps will you take in 2026 onward to gazette plus protect every beach at risk and guarantee no Fisher Beach is lost to hotel development?
Yes. Wow. Good question. No, it's a very good question. We've been on a drive to gazette our fishing beaches. One of the challenges that we have had in the past that you are extremely correct about is that, right, we're working, we have work with them. I've also been saying to developers that once you're going to develop and it is going to touch and concern a fishing beach, you have to engage the National Fisheries Authority and you have to engage the fishers. We are getting somewhere with that. We're not where we want to be yet, but we're getting somewhere with that. And I can tell you, because some of the last few developments, they have reached out and we have been able to ensure that the fishers are actually in a better position than they were. So the answer is yes, we're moving on the gazetting. I will ask the NFA to put together a sort of time frame so that it doesn't take too long, right? But we are very serious from our ministry about protecting the rights of the fishers. Normally, you were there long before anybody thought about this, right? And the truth is, it can be done in a manner that everybody can benefit. Because it's a policy that they have to move fishers to have a good beach. We can work together. So we'll work on it.
Afternoon, Minister, Sir Bellamy, and Miss Oliphant. Mr. Michael, you also representing Southeast St. Mary Association, Fisherman's Group Association. Two concerns that I have, Minister. One, our fishing village have been operating over a period of time, and our guest house where we do our business in terms of purchasing gas and such is not properly fenced. From time to time, we do spend a lot of money in terms of getting gas, and with the recent training that the Southeast St. Mary Group have received in terms of long line and stuff like that, with you guys also expanding the opening hours for another bay fisheries where we normally would have maybe a 2 day. We're open now 5 days per week, and we do not feel safe. We have had instances where we go to purchase gas, and even when the beryllium truck comes to pick up cash, it's just an open situation. So I do need your help in getting the fishing village properly fenced, sir. One more thing also, the mere fact that it is not fenced, um, there's talk in terms of putting a parking spot where we are at to demolish our bathrooms and such to facilitate a parking because no parking was what should I say, this parking was implemented originally to facilitate the traffic in Another Bay. Know that the persons have taken over that piece of property where persons could park at free will. It is our gas house and our fishing village that has been used for such. I I need help.
Yeah, don't you don't have to say anymore. We're going to fence it. So it is earmarked to be fenced under this budget. So I'll ask Dr. Bellamy to speed it up now that you've raised the concern about people using it. So
And
give us a few months.
I'll put it out there too, sir, because Sir Dunn were friends and he's my friend too. And he's the one that mashed on my fence. So I need you to talk to him and tell him to build back my gate.
All right.
And then, sir, I'm hoping we could have conversation in terms of a jetty service to facilitate them in terms of assisting them with transportation. So there's a loose piece of property down at the bottom. The vehicles could park there and we could revamp the harbor and such and have a jetty service where we take them from down the bottom, let them off at our fishing village, and they have perfect access to the town, the market, and everything there. Mr. Smith, you know what I'm talking about
Mr.
here.
Michael, all right, we'll talk. this one. Two things, sir. I asked if they could speed up the gas for go to Port Maria. So, and please, if you could, over 2 years ago, all you guys came to the beach. We do not have a proper sanitary convenience. We do not have a fisherman's house. Not even a rainbow. We were promised a fisherman's house in November and said it would be finished by January. From 2024, now it's 2026, not even a grain of gravel. And we can't hear anything. And it's in the MP book of accomplishments. And nothing has been done.
Let me ask you.
We
That
have nowhere to
that
store
was the
our.
beach that was cleaned up.
Yes.
So
And
how you start with that the part of the story then?
no,
How you don't start with say,
it,
boy, minister, you come, the beach was in a terrible condition. You
it
tell
was
me, hold on about my time now. You tell me, say, we need to clean it up. The minister said, JBM, clean it up, and JBM and clean it up. How you don't start with that with the people that clap the minister? That's how you have to
no.
start, man. You start with when you get done. Start with what was done.
That,
And then tell me that was done, but there is more to be
that
done.
no.
And that me want to hear.
No.
Because then when we take up the phone now and call the people them, I said the man come and cuss me. Them are going to say, but minister, we did this, we did that, and we soon come to that. You are right. We have said we're going to do an overall development. I came and saw it for myself, really bad condition. It was to start from the clean up, and then they were to build out some facilities. So I will speak to JBM about why is there a delay. We are
Oh,
committed. We're going to fix some
if
stuff.
you see it now, it's worse than the
It
first.
works? All right, we're
Because
going to fix
Melissa
it.
came and scattered everything
Oh,
and
made
just
it
bare
worse.
rocks too.
All right. No
Yes,
problem.
Mr. Sip,
No problem.
please.
Just a minute, please. The gentleman in the yellow shirt will take his final question. The gentleman in the yellow shirt, in the interest of time, we have other segments of the program. And the gentleman in the yellow shirt is the final person question we're taking.
So what about me?
At the back. The gentleman at the back in the yellow
What
shirt.
about me?
All right? So
What is that?
thanks. You may,
Yes, sir.
you may
The
proceed.
gentleman at the back of the line. The gentleman at the back of the line. You go now.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Green, Mr. Vela, Mr. Spiker. I'm from Discovery. I'm from Holloway. One of the problem that I have. Oh,
All right, guys, have a tone down so we can hear.
Mr. Green, Mr. Vellman, the problem that I have, don't discover me. When you have a project doing within the fishing cooperative, it done in discovery. But as soon as the funding comes to the project, we get the last part of the project. We get the ending of the stick. Now if you go and come down there and then you don't know for a project. You can't say you don't know a project. You don't know everything about discovery project. But when things be the right way, I need it to done the right way. Next thing, we have a hurricane, we get damage. We get less than 10 culture at the beach. And we have over 50 odd person on the beach. If you go and share things, you don't get one person do things and don't get it. This problem is, I don't want to come there, you as a scapegoat forget funding from the agency. And then we get the last part. We need to get the front part of the business. That's me. Because right now, out to the match, that don't have no dryer. The dryer, it backs up. You put up the solar in the feet, but the match is not come dry the Irish mass. So that means
We are blind. So
No, so all right.
we need to put that front.
Yeah, no, so I get the point that you're making, and the point that you're making is that the project is incomplete, right? And you want to ensure that when a project is being done at Discovery Bay, that it is done completely, right? The truth is, the project is work in progress, right? So it will be completed, right? If you know how these projects go, there is a process, there is procurement, there is a certain financing envelope. So it will be done. I know that they're working on the drawing out now, and I'm supposed to go and look at it. So it have to work, right? It have to work. So don't worry about it. It will be done. It will be
All right. My name is Damien. Yes, my name is Damien Nemar, Vice President for New Forum. Yes. All right. I have two quick questions for the minister, Mr. Bellamy. All right. First question for the minister. Embarrassing to say, New Forum doesn't have any water right now. What would it take to have even a step pipe? Second question. Second quick question. As, yes, second quick question. Is there a way we can have a centralized depot that will benefit each, whether parish or county, that fishers can go to centralize and sell their fish so that they can handle the marketing?
Yeah, it's something to look at. I mean, you have had fish markets all over, right? Some of them not necessarily centralized, right? And normally done by the parish councils in different parishes. It's something I will look at. I'll take it as a proposal.
It's happening in the
It
Philippines and
happens, yeah. It happens in
Asian.
different parts. It happens in different parts where you, again, most in those areas is normally a fish market and steroids, a bigger fish market, right? I mean, clearly, my neck of the woods in Black River, one was done, right? And it does help because it does bring together fishers from all over. It's something we can look at. The one that you would rate of water, the interim title that will give you some reprieve. But the fishers will have to work together in terms of consistently getting water. We will help, fishers will work. So, Mr. Smichael, we'll get that done in a few weeks.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Bishop folks, enough respect. We work together and the proper authority. My name is Narzeen Bagwan. I guess everybody might recognize me by now. Was one of the guys that spoke about that get hit over in that boat incident the other day. Sorry, I am very much late. I guess I was here earlier, but then I have to be, observing to see what is taking place because I said I was pretty much late. However, it's good to be here. And I'm saying that, give thanks to God that, we are. However, life goes on. I guess, many not here to tell the tears, but however, I can say thanks to God, you know. It made me feel good. However, the point is really, I want to really, there is time going, I know that, so we might not have much time to say whatever we want to say. But some issues that comes up that is very much important. Um, the incident that really took place with me with a boat running actually into my boat, actually over it, but into it, giving me an injury with four broken fingers. Over going over about 3 months now. Still, I haven't heard anything from any authorities as to what is taking place really. However, I'm still trying to go along because, as I'm saying, there is life. And however, God is here trying to give me an ease, and so keep my head focused and don't lose. your purpose. However, however, it is good to be here. And however, I'm saying that I'm pretty much late, but however, it's still worthy cause, to really ask the few questions I want to ask because we are in serious problem. And the problem majorly comes from the Coast Guard and I wouldn't say much about the police vessel because many of them are experienced people. Somehow the Coast Guard have a set of young coming, um, you know, they are now we dealing with the sea. The land where you can jump on your Google and it direct you to exactly where you want to go. This is something different. The sea is something you have to have an experience which comes from the elder. And however, it is so strange that we are going into a real ugly pace because when I look to see that it's peer kids right now doing the protocol, you know, going out there and several times I actually, was going overboard. Sometimes, I don't know I am here. The fact still remain, trying to make many report in a sense where I never really get to the right authority because, however, somehow your statement might have cut short and then it no reach nowhere. But then what I'm saying, the security, the force, which supposed to be protecting us, however, still haven't known who is a fisherman, who is a jugsman, who is whoever is on the sea up to today. Because you will see
All
one
right,
set
sir,
here
sir.
today
Sir, your
and
point is
tomorrow
well,
you see.
sir. Your point is well taken. And we're almost on a break. Thank you so much. We have recorded your point. The minister will now
All
respond.
right, so your matter came to my attention. In fact, I spoke to your daughter, who goes to case. Is it daughter or granddaughter? You're the one who the Coast Guard ran into the boat. Yeah. So I spoke to one of the family members, and I have reached out to the chief of defense staff, and I know the NFA is on the matter. Let us talk after. All right?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
man.
All right. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. Protocols observed. My name is Ian Williams from Aloha Fisherman Corp. We have met before. Many hats I wear. We you talked about aquaculture. In Asia, they use the swamp in different ways. In Jamaica, we dump our swamps, right? We have some watersheds in Runaway Bay, Discovery Bay area. How can we access those watersheds to do aquaculture? Being that we are losing so much of our fishermen at sea. So see if you can expedite some ways of finding out who owns the land instead of your advisors sit back, relax, and don't do their job properly. That's all. Thank you.
Well, what you have to do is do a proposal. Sometimes we try and pass the buck. We have to take responsibility. So if you have a watershed that you're interested in, do a proposal, send it to the NFA, and we'll act upon it.
Good afternoon, Mr. Minister.
Afternoon.
I'm from Port Moran. I have a problem with the Coast Guard. Whenever time, whenever time them come to check my sure that's from them. And they come with top speed. I done my little talk to the man and say, soldier, I want to kill you off. It's just PH to them up. Sometimes they just spin round and just gone left with that. That don't want to kill you off. That's why I'm at the both side. What Canada, when the people alongside the boat, just boom, 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 boom. The last time the nick off this one, you know, what is the document? Sometimes you have the life jacket, you have the rope, you have the everything. And you just look on him and say, all right, good man, and just stop. I look for like that.
Yeah, so
So I want to contact who sponsor them, let them know so they can't have them begins in there. And I come down from a 20-year football like that, they want to kill you off. Second thing, the speeding in the parcel, cut off the whole of the fish back them. When they go about them diver, just dive on them and cut off the them. I have a H and mark them. And man, go over there and see the whole of the fish back the rope them and the coast guard boat them. Some more ask them stuff in this car. I can't do something. The way it's too expensive. They have a family to feed.
Yeah,
Right.
so very good. We're two good points. I will raise the issue regarding the Coast Guard. Right, I have a follow up with Chief of Defence Staff, and then clearly we know one of the issues in relation to costs. Right, yeah. So thank you.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I'm Shafani Malcolm Milliner from the Rocky Point Fishermen's Cooperative. I actually work in the store and I've yet to see vouchers for Rocky Point
Well,
from NFA.
that's why I'm happy we have an hour discussion. So you haven't seen any
I
vouchers for
haven't seen
NFA.
any for Rocky Point.
All right. So I'm very sure Rocky Point got some vouchers. So I don't know what they've done with them. But we'll check. Thank you for raising it. I'll check.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I'll check on that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Green Minister. Big up the MP. I'm
Yes, sir.
here to big you up
Yes, sir.
and the good work that you're doing and the behalf of the Jamaican government. That's what I'm here. You see, over these years that we have been having minister, you're the best one that I ever had. Um, for the grants that have been given out to fishermen, I have received. It is might be not a great
Yeah.
portion, but the little I have give thanks for it, sir. And I wish for you to live to see many, many more. And me don't want to get you out of the House of Parliament like when I see them a plan to do. I don't know if what I'm saying is right or the and we'll glad we feel good about it. I'm glad to see how you monitor the thing and what you do for fishermen right around Jamaica. Me no want stray from my point. That is my few
Thank you.
words for now.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Afternoon again, Mr.
Afternoon.
Minister. I have one final. I couldn't stay in my seat. I've been burning. Now, Dr. Dwellamy, the question is for you and not necessarily Mr. Minister. So I have a concern. I have a concern regarding the EIA, the Environment Impact Assessment. When a major project is being done, an assessment is carried out. When the assessment is done, fisheries take on due diligence to do a follow-up assessment to ensure transparency, to ensure that whatever is being reflected in that assessment, it is true. Fisheries do an assessment independently. And the same question will go for NEPA, but NEPA is not here. Maybe Mr. Michael could reach out to Mr. Francis with such for me, and I would appreciate if the answer is yes. Why is that so today? We have seen countless times.
Careful, you know, if you ask too much, I can't answer. I'm not so bright. You mix up my brain. First thing, we don't do the EIA. But what I can tell you, we are not a part of that process. That is NEPA that does the EIA.
Mhm.
What I can tell you, and I can guarantee that it is happening because I've gone, seen it done,
I buy the gas and everything. The NFA, Mr. Spanker's team, the capture fishes team, out at the airport, checking names, checking for discharge, doing the due diligence to make sure that if there's a breach, they can testify on your behalf. So the team goes out regularly to make sure there's nothing detrimental happening out there. So we, even though we don't know the AIA, we are policing it just like you and the officials.
Okay. Good answer. Part of my question, Doctor. And I see that you well put it together to assure me that whatever is going on should not cause much disturbance, right?
No, no, I say we go out there to ensure and to check. What the minister said to you earlier, if you have a complaint and it goes to the grievance, go through the process. I cannot determine it. I have not seen your complaints. I don't see them. So I can't make a determination on them. But the minister gave you very good advice, point by point, how to address the situation. Do it and allow the process to, to work for you.
Which I totally agree with, as the mechanism that is in place limit fishers because they are asking that we capture the noise magnitude. Fishers don't have any such device to provide as an evidence to state the magnitude and noise that comes from the dredger. One, fishers don't have the resources to also capture footage and correct evidence by photos. I was hoping that the National Fisheries Authority would have carried out an independent study to support the fishers more.
Yeah, so I take your point as a suggestion moving forward. That you're saying you would love the Fisheries Authority to be in a position to provide that sort of support, to have the necessary equipment needed to do things of that nature. So it's something that we will look at, right? Remember, we are working on with the Japanese to get a so we are in that direction. So we can look at what would be the equipment that we need if we are to do a sort of monitoring in relation to no what she's saying, and take the point. There may be things happening that they can say but they can't capture, right? And the truth is, but you also have to work with me. The truth is, you have to understand we can't prove is a challenge. So what you are saying is that we may need to put ourselves in a position that somebody, let us say the regular claims, that we can verify them. Because the question is, who now does it? Who has the capacity to do it? So I will look at it. I understand. I understand. All right, we have two more.
Afternoon,
Yes. Let's see.
Fly Green, and afternoon to the CEO of Fisheries Authority. My main concern is that up by Man Point, there's a lighthouse up there.
Yes.
And oftentimes
Not working.
that lighthouse not working for 2 weeks or more, right? That is one concern. There was a light out by bound there that they used to use it to come out of the harbour and come in back. But from Melissa Blow, family Sablan move, nobody has come to fix it. Right on the reef. So
Okay.
any boat or anything can come in and follow that light and run right on the reef.
Okay.
So we right that project.
All right. So, Mr. Michael, Dr. Bellamy, the light up border we
Yes.
can fix.
All right,
So,
no, Mr. Green.
no, the border, not the lighthouse. Oh, okay. All right.
This is a paper here. My license has expired. I went out there about a month ago and I know I don't get back the thing, right? All right. and still they are telling me that this, if I went out to sea with this and the Coast Guard were me, I can be charged because this is not my license.
And
So,
you're correct. Let the license this right there, sir, and I'll come around there with you right as we finish here. Right at that corner there.
so I will go there and
No man, just go to the three pretty young ladies around there who will spoil you until I come.
yeah.
So we resolve that right now today.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you,
thank you,
sir.
sir. We'll take the final one because we are now going to break for lunch. Final one.
My name is Edwin Malcolm. I represent Half Moon Bay Fisherman Cooperative. I just want to make 2 points. In regards to the expansion of the airport, I just want to know if there is a legal basis for fishers to ask for compensation. Seeing that Fisheries Authority is an executive agency and they can help the fishers to determine if they have a legal claim toward asking for some form of compensation. Secondly, we at Elsha Beach, we are here, we see that information is vital and share information. So we at Elsha Beach, we have a monitoring tower, which we are NEPA share, and NEPA said they're no longer interested in using the tower to collect data anymore. So we were contemplating thinking about having a radio station, the possibility of having a radio station for fisheries. So we can write a proposal to the minister seeking to get a broadcasting license or what it requires to have a radio station using the pole at LCD.
Yeah. Yeah, send that in. Send that in. Send that in.
All right, thank you so much, Minister.
I'll give him since he's there. But it's the last one this.
Minister,
Yes.
um, I'm from the Alambe Fishing Group, and it's the main road to the Port Authority Lighthouse, the Maritime Lighthouse. Whenever time rain fall, not even tractor or bulldozer cannot go down there. I'm concerned at the rest of fisher folks that even have vehicle. No vehicle, no bike, you can't reach to go fishing. So we need some help on the road, the main road. Just the other day down there, at the port authority truck go down there and stuck in the main road to go down there.
It's a main road.
To the lighthouse. Me tell them the other day that whenever time we see them go down there, I'm going to cut.
We have a vote of thanks, and that will be done by our Senior Director of Extension Services, Miss Shalene Berry. Please put your hands together for Mrs. Berry, who will do the honors. After which, it is time for the domino tournament. So those who have signed up for the domino tournament, we have the list. I think I have the names here. All right, just before Mrs. Berry, Charles Mackenzie, Clive Reed, Andre Rennie, uh, Nelrado Bowen, Errol Dennis, Kevin Grant, Rashim Boswell, O'Shane Hamilton. Make your way over to the registration desk, and that will be done right there. So we have the registration form right here. Over to you, Mrs. We also have the quiz competition after lunch. All right, that will be done after lunch. But now we're taking registration for domino tournament. Over to you, Mrs. Terry.
Honorable Floyd Green, MP the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, the Honorable Marcia Bennett, CD, JP, Custos of St. Thomas, Yvonne Rose Marie Shaw, Member of Parliament, St. Thomas Eastern, Mr. Orville Palmer, Chief Technical Director of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Dr. Gavin Bellamy, JP, Chief Executive Officer of the National Fisheries Authority, Mr. Stephen Michael, Principal Director of the Capture Fisheries Division of the NFA, Mrs. Avery Michael, Principal Director, Aquaculture Fisheries Division of National Fisheries Authority, Dr. Zara Oliphant, Principal Director of the Fisheries Compliance, Licensing and Statistics Division, Ika Tomlin of the Legal Affairs, representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and the NFA, members of the media, and my esteemed fishers. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As we bring this year's International Fisherman's Day celebration to a close, it is my distinct pleasure to offer a heartfelt vote of thanks to all who have contributed to making today's event a success. First and foremost, we give thanks to the Almighty God for His guidance, protection, and blessing throughout this wonderful day of fellowship and celebration. I extend sincere appreciation to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Tim, whose professionalism and energy kept the program flowing smoothly from start to finish. Special thanks are due to Dr. Gavin Bellamy, the CEO of the National Fisheries Authority, for opening remarks and continued leadership in advancing Jamaica's fisheries sector. We also extend our gratitude to the Costas, the Honorable Marcia Bennett, and Miss Yvonne Shaw, Member of Parliament for the St. Thomas Eastern. We are truly grateful to our key speaker, the Honorable Floyd Green of the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries and Mining, whose insightful address highlighted the importance of our fishers and the contribution they make to national development. Our thanks also goes to all presenters from the Jamaica Fishermen's Cooperative Union, Food for the Poor, and the NFA representatives for sharing valuable information and resources that benefit members of the fishing community. We extend immense gratitude to our sponsors, Headcom, Rainforest, Mercury Sea Pro, Guardian Group, Yama, Edge 105 FM, Sagicor, Universal Service Fund, Spike Industries Limited, EA Benjamins, Ministry of Health and Wellness, and the Vital Distribution Company of Jamaica Limited. To the fishers who will be participating in today's program, including the entertainment team, question and answer segment, quiz competition, domino competition, thank you for your enthusiasm and active involvement. This celebration is in your honor, and your participation has made the event very eventful. We also acknowledge our partners, Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Food for the Poor, Foundation, and the Jamaica.